now. I'll let you know when 15 seconds goes by.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any air left in my CO2 canister, so
Thank God.
unfortunately, it's just gonna be. Nah, we're good.
And welcome back to the Nub. I'm the Merce.
Hey, it's me, Felton.
And the ball-bearded bard.
And we have some more great interviews for you for Into the Nerd. This first one, this episode, I apologize, is with our awesome parent company, I guess you could say. Well, I don't know if they're parent company, but Hanging with Web Show. Great people. There's a lot of great entertainment to be found on their YouTube channels, so please check them out. They've been really good to us, and we want to be, we want to share them with the rest of the world. They just actually did a online con. I think that was last week. Did you guys catch any of that?
Well, not really. I was working.
No, I completely missed it.
Yeah, I was working too. Damn, being essential. So, well, you know what? I think I'm going to start off with a little bit of a video game, not news per se, but I guess video game talking, if it were. Have you guys had a chance to pick up that Final Fantasy VII remake yet?
No.
No.
Oh my God, I am loving it. It's it's obviously a retelling of or a remake of the Final Fantasy VII video game. And it's only, from what I understand, because I haven't finished it yet, but I think it only takes place in Midgar, with all the avalanche stuff and everything like that. But they've turned it into more of an action RPG, so more in the vein of, like, I wouldn't say Kingdom Hearts per se. It's not as crazy as far as the action like that is concerned, but it is definitely a lot more difficult for those of us who, like myself, would sit back and do the turn-based RPG style. This time, you have to be fully active in each battle. You can't just kind of lazily sit there with Cheeto dust on your stomach and make decisions on what you're gonna do. So it's definitely added a lot of new interesting elements that I'm really enjoying to the game. So
Did you play the Final Fantasy Bro Trip edition? Like it was XV?
I did. I enjoyed that game. I mean, I don't
15.
think it was 15. Yeah, I don't think it was anything to write home to mom about, but I enjoyed it.
Was the battle system similar to that?
Yeah, it shares a lot of maybe some of the, not a lot, but some of those elements it shares. Yeah. What is interesting is that they still have the ATP system in the game. Okay, I don't know if you remember what the ATP system is, but it's basically where you have to wait to take your turn, kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except for in this game, you're actively fighting the monsters while the ATP fills up, and then once it's filled up, then you can cast spells, use items, summon summon your summon magic, that kind of stuff. So you're actively fighting, dodging, and doing all this stuff, waiting for your ATP to fill up, so you can do more powerful things. It's an interesting way to play it. It makes it, again, you have to keep on your toes the whole time, and you have to really be paying attention to what's going on in the battlefield. On top of that, the monsters. I mean, if you don't pay attention to what the monsters are doing, what your party's doing, what's going on, the whole time that you're in battle, you will get your ass absolutely handed to you in this game.
What does ATP stand for?
I don't remember.
Adenosine triphosphate? It's what powers
Yeah,
your cells.
That's what it is. Yep, exactly. That makes sense.
Yep.
I think it's like attack time something or another, but I don't remember.
Well, I did buy Final Fantasy 15. It was on sale. Mm-hmm. And I played it for, I don't know, like 15 minutes or something like that. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was a good game.
So you weren't enjoying it, huh?
I don't know. I have such ADD when it comes to single player games right now. So basically, what happened is I started devoting all of my free spare minutes that I had to myself into playing this one game. It's called Hunt Showdown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've talked about it or if you've heard about it before.
I've heard about it, but I haven't heard you talk about it.
Really? I was being sarcastic. I thought I talked about it all the time.
So I can't be sarcastic too?
Oh. Yeah, so my total playtime now says 318 hours. I don't know how that happened, but yeah. God.
Well, I can tell you how that happened. Coronavirus took over the world, and now it's like your free time is spent doing nothing but video gaming.
Well, in between like the migraines and the allergies and the things that just have nothing to do with the coronavirus, and the fact that I was already a shut-in, and to be honest, it really hasn't affected my life at all. Because I'll be honest, I already used Instacart to do my shopping, and I've been doing that for quite a while. I don't like leaving my house. I'm borderline agoraphobic. So, like, this is just an inconvenience for me because now everyone's using Instacart, and I can't even log in. So I'm a little bit perturbed by that.
It's actually sad for me to realize that I'm actually enjoying a lot of the things that have happened due to the coronavirus. Like, curbside pickup is my new jam, and I really hope that they keep that for everything. I mean, the fact that I can call up my local comic book store and be like, "Hey, can you set this book and that book and that book aside for me?" And I'll be coming up. Oh, and can you also put a couple cases of beer in that too? And I'll be up there to pick it up in about 15 minutes. Like, love that, I love the fact that like every restaurant is doing curbside delivery and including alcohol sales. Loving that. I mean, I miss going to the movies, but when I think about it, my last probably 20 movie experiences have not been great because the people in the movie theaters are absolute assholes. People no longer have any respect for each other at all when it comes to being out in public anymore. Like, you go to a movie theater and they're talking the whole time. They'll be answering their cell phone or they'll be texting during the movie, so the screen flashes and lights up, or like nobody cares about anybody else in this world, it seems like. So I feel like maybe the coronavirus hasn't been such a bad thing in my life. I'm sure that it's screwed with a lot of other people. Plus, you and I are both essential people, so we still went to work, still did all the stuff that we would normally do. The only problem that I've had is that Walmart has been closed at like 8 o'clock at night, and Walmart's normally when I get my shopping done when there's nobody around. So
I would just go walk around Walmart at night. I don't really shop. I just grab a cart and just kind of walk around and force conversations on the employees about things I'm not going to buy. I'll be like, "Hey, what do you think about this vacuum cleaner? I've heard a lot of good things about this Dirt Devil 350 XS."
How's it been affecting your life there, Quadruple B?
I'm pretty much in the same boat as you guys are, as far as it hasn't been that bad. Like, I live in a rural area, so suddenly places are delivering that have never delivered before, and that's like vastly improved my life. And a lot of them are doing no contact delivery, so I can just stand in my doorway and like look at them through the window in my door and just be like, "Leave it on the porch," and that's it. And so like, yeah, yeah, I'm a pretty big shut-in myself as well. So this really hasn't affected my life any. My wife works at a pharmacy, so she's super stressed. But as far as like me and the kids, no, we're good. Nothing's changed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scary how much it's actually kind of improved my life in some ways. Like I'm telling you, the curbside delivery thing, the curbside pickup thing is my absolute jam now. I love that. I love being able to go to stores and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this, this, and this, and you guys will have it ready by when? All right, I'll be there." Go pick it up, go home,
yeah,
go. I love that.
For sure, and the whole 6 feet distance between everybody, I want to keep that when this is done too.
Oh yes, please God, yes. I want that. I want to keep that like you would not believe.
See, as somebody with obsessive compulsive disorder, it's just everything I've always ever done my whole life. Now, people always are like, "Oh, I have OCD." It's like, no, you don't. You don't have OCD. You don't. Like, do you have crippling obsessive thoughts about your skin being contaminated by imaginary germs? Like, no, I do. So don't co-opt my illness. That's just not okay. It's not a quirky character trait you could just take because you saw it in The Office. All right, that's just ridiculous.
Well, on that fantastic note, I think we will wrap up this little bit of conversation here before the interview, before we jump into the nerd, as it were. I've been the Merce.
It's Fulton.
And the bald bearded bard.
And remember, check out all the other shows that they have on the Hanging with Web show, YouTube and the app and everything like that. There's some other great content providers on here as well. So, but please keep listening to us and check us out on our YouTube channel, which is Nerds United Brevard. I hope you guys have a good day.
Bye.
All right, welcome back to the Nub. We're doing another interview here at the Space Coast Comic-Con. With me here is actually kind of a legend in the comic book industry here in Brevard. This is Mr. Travis Gibb. Travis, how you doing today?
Good. They call me indie comic superstar is what they call me. I'm not a legend.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
let's start again.
Yeah.
Introducing the comics indie
superstar
Travis Gibb.
Yeah.
So I see you got funded now for.
I did. Yeah.
Broke Down?
Issue 3 is coming out, which is really exciting. We should have out that out in March. I'm glad that that's all paid for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're working on stretch goals right now, trying to get as much money as we can to get as much product out there. It allows me to print more. It allows me to get further into issue 4. Which is great.
Which allows us to read more, which is the more important part.
Right. Exactly.
Now, obviously, doing Kickstarter is rougher than doing some other means, like maybe selling an ash can or something like that.
Yeah.
But it also can be more rewarding, I would imagine. So, how has this Kickstarter been compared to your other 2 before?
Oh yeah, so it's a different world right now, right? So Kickstarter, the shares aren't as much. Like I'm at right now 141 backers with like 2,700. Just to give you an idea, I was at 4,000 with 156 backers. How I ended my last one.
Mm-hmm.
So just showing that it's taking more people to help it get funded, just because of how few people are seeing the interactions. And my day one was about 50%. It's just a different world. It's a little scary for people who are just trying the platform out. I still think it's the best avenue to get your stuff out, but it's a little bit harder than it was before to fund. And it's not because I don't have the fans. Obviously, the numbers are there showing that I have the fans. It's just the backer count is a little bit lower.
Now, this is a crime story,
Yeah.
correct? Can you give us a little background?
No.
Okay.
No,
Well, then
yeah.
there you go.
I want to, but
Yeah.
then I would have to tell everyone.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
then someone could find out about it and see if they were interested,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would buy the book. And
okay.
then they could judge me, and I can't handle that.
Yeah, you seem very fragile.
Right.
You
I'm
seem
very
fragile.
I'm very sensitive.
Mhm.
Right now, I'm the indie superstar. What if they're like indie star?
Or they just drop the star off altogether.
Right,
like,
right.
They just call you indie.
Right,
Like,
right. Just
Which
indie.
wouldn't be bad as long as you carried a whip around with you.
Right,
it'd be fine.
right,
But-
right. Well, I mean, I'll tell you the short synopsis, but I'm not getting too deep. I mean, you gotta pay for my this.
Well, are there 4
Genius.
dead bodies in the story, or is
There
that a misnomer?
There is
Okay.
actually in issue 2. There's 5.
Oh, whoa.
Right,
okay.
we accelerate quickly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's 2 guys, Randy and Denver. They hate each other. One is a con man. The other one is a carjacker, a.k.a. Fast and the Furious type dude. Denver has a little bit of a mouth and a little bit of anger problem, and Randy tends to be a little cooler. So they got together. They broke down on the side of the road. They've got the bodies, and they're just trying to deal with the situation. They've got everybody after them. They've got the mob. They've got a Spanish gang. They've got a biker gang, and they've got the cops all trying to kill them as they're trying to kill each other. So lots of guns, lots of violence, and lots of F words.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, it's one of my favorite books. I'm glad that I backed it. I did back it. So,
He did.
Just so you know, I did back it.
He did. You heard it here
Yeah,
first,
you heard.
folks.
Now that doesn't mean that I won't pull it back later, but
Right.
I backed it now.
He backed it.
So how are you enjoying your infamy now? Like you basically, let's be honest. When it comes to Brevard creators, every comic book store knows you, at least in Brevard, right? And
Right.
and you're starting to build a fan base where people recognize you, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah. This con has been really great. A lot of people have been coming up. They haven't picked up issue 2 because I haven't done cons and stuff like that. It's really, really good. I wouldn't say I'm infamous, but yeah, in this little area. But I've got the little article that just came out in Brevard.
That's why I didn't say. That's why I didn't say famous. I said infamous. So tell us about the article.
Yeah, so Brevard Music Live, I think is what it's called. I wish I had it on me. Brevard Music Live, they did a small interview with me, which is interesting because I know bands who've been around for years who have never been in that magazine.
Yeah, and you got a 2-page spread.
But I got a 2-page spread. It's a nice 2-page spread too. But yeah, the comic stores really appreciate me. People really like my stuff. You know, I'm getting a lot of recognition for the stuff I do. A lot of people ask me for advice on Kickstarter and helping them grow. You know, as you and I are in the Brevard Comic Creators group, you know, we try to grow and build as a community, because we all, you know, what is a rising many sales helps us go further, right?
Absolutely.
So the more sales that we have, we can go further and go from there. There's no reason to hurt each other. We're all doing different stories. We're all trying to create different things, and it's a beautiful thing.
Well, and I think I've mentioned this a couple times, but you are definitely a mentor to other, you know, creators in Brevard. You know, especially when it comes to the Kickstarter thing. You know, you've got the knowledge, you've got the know-how, you've already taken the lumps, so you kind of know, you know, what to avoid in the future. So I encourage anybody who is serious, not just joking around, but serious about creating a comic book, either try to join the Brevard comic book creators group that you have on Facebook, or try to at least reach out to you for just like a little bit of words of wisdom, you know?
Yeah, my advice is always free. I'll sit down and talk to anybody if I have time.
Wait,
you know?
It's free?
Yeah, free.
I've been paying you $20 an hour now.
Well, yeah, because you want consultant. I'm
okay.
consulting
That's
you.
different. Yes, okay.
Yeah, everyone is asking for advice. I know they sound different, but they're different words.
Yeah.
So one costs $20.
I'm saying
And one
the same
costs zero.
things, but-
Right? They're the exact same meaning, but different words.
Exactly.
So if you'd like to be consulted by me, that's $20. If you just like my advice, free.
Well, I don't want to hold you from your table.
Okay.
I know that you know, people will start stealing stuff.
Right.
But I want to thank you for sitting down with us. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to do a lot more interviews before this con is over, and we'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thank you.